Hi there, come on in. I'm reloading some shotgun shells here at the Michigan Outdoors Cabin. I've been spending a lot more time this summer at the shooting sports, especially trap shooting, but 2 weekends ago, we were at the Flint Bowmen for our benefit archery shoot up there. I tell you, we had one great time. On this show, we're also going to talk about turkey season. 1992, the DNR seems to think that it may be a record year. We have some reservations about those numbers. We're going to get these shotgun shells reloaded here and get on with the show, so you stay tuned. I'm Fred Trost. It's Thursday night, time for Michigan Outdoors. No hunching? I'm going to hunch when I hit the water, I'll tell you that.
You ready? You guys ready?
You
ready, Fred?
Am I ready?
Yeah.
Sit towards the front.
Yeah, if you don't, you'll...
Oh, this is a real secure feeling. Or I'll hit my back. Good.
Don't look at the target. Don't look over there.
Oh, don't?
No.
No, it's that little kid. Will I be dunked by the archers who hit the electronic target that drops the platform I'm sitting on? Of course, but you'll see that later. Now let's look at the bow hunter course that hundreds of archers shot on May 31st. Okay. Now this target, let's see, what does this say? Shoot the buck only.
Yeah.
We have a seat. Who goes next?
Yeah.
Ron goes next.
Yeah.
Okay, shoot the buck only. He's down there between two does. Ron Mast is the president of the Flint Bowmen, a fun-loving group of bow hunters and archers who are always inventing new ways to make shooting at targets a competitive challenge that's also entertaining. Perfect.
Not bad.
I'd say that's a 20.
Not bad, eh?
Okay, for the buck only, I'd say this is about a perfect 20 yards, so I should be able to ace this one. Yes! Yes! Right where I wanted it, right between your two arrows. Yes! I liked it. Look at this target diorama. 2 deer eating, and behind them, the buck. Ooh! Ooh! A 20! Ooh! A 20 right there. And you got a 20, Ron.
Hey!
Bob got a 16 and Kath got a 10. She's in the 10 ring right there.
Is she on the line?
Ooh! This is the shooting sports at their best, competitive but full of fun. And here's a moving target at its best, a cardboard Fred Trost running ahead of a cardboard bear. The object was to save me from the bear by shooting it in the heart. That's worth 20 points. Bob Beitler hit the bear, but too far back for 20 points. Here's a turkey hunting setup. Pretty neat target, huh? And here's another creative target, shot from a platform, simulating a tree stand. Kathy and Bob Beitler are at the top, and it's Bob's turn to go first. Ooh. A perfect shot. Now my turn to see if I can hit the same spot. I think they're about 1 o'clock from where the target should be. With my erratic pattern, I'm likely to hit it.
Hey, Fred?
Yeah?
Get your excuse down ahead of time.
I got it down. Okay. I was working on that. That is exactly where I wanted it.
Man, you don't have excuses.
I don't need an excuse for that one. If you're a hunter, you know why a 3D silhouette course like this is fun. It combines target archery with realistic bow hunting situations. Now, listen to the story behind this target. I was heading back to camp after a long day's hunt. Oh, unbeknownst to me, I found out my guide's tree stand had been attacked. Oh, the discussion is obvious. BS bear is struck again. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Well, we find blood here. It looks like my guide has been mauled, dragged, kicking and screaming. The question is, to you archers, do you dare look for your buddy Fred? Oh, I went a little farther through the mud and the slop. I found a cave up here. Here we are, the cave. You ready? You shoot anywhere between the orange stakes up in the cave. When your time runs out, the bear gets you, you get a 0. Okay, into the cave. Where is the bear? Oh, there he is. I see his eyes. I see his eyes. Pull back. I got him. Now we better get out of here.
Wait for me.
Shooting in the dark. That's a different twist for an archery course. Let's find out how we scored. There we go. Through the cave. Might have to put this bear out of its misery. There are the shots. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's a 16. 16. Each of the 28 targets on the course was designed and set up by a different member of the Flint Bowmen. And more than just targets, they were often entertaining dioramas. Then there were the novelty shoots. Dave Skog from Taylor warmed up on the clay pigeons, and he did just as well on the dunk tank targets. Ken Burks from Kent County, Ontario, is sighting in on a target that's 125 yards away. Ken almost hit the scent bottle on the bear, and I mean almost.
Half inch right? Okay.
A minor correction, and Ken smacked the bottle. Look at his group of arrows for 125 yards. He's good, and he won a fishing trip with Captain Emil Dean for that shot. Tom Gross from Saginaw hit the bottle twice, and Art Birchmeyer from Montrose hit it too. The money spent by the hundreds of archers at this shoot contributed to our defense fund. Instead of trophies, buttons were awarded, and there was always the joy of hitting the target that dropped me into the dunk tank, and that drew quite a crowd. No, it's that little kid.
He's a good shot.
Woo!
Need your glasses to see to get out of the water?
I don't know.
How's your life insurance?
Oh!
You ever had hypothermia?
This is what we call fun, huh? Oh! You know, it didn't feel so cold the first 5 seconds. It's cold now, though. The crowd seemed to love to dunk me, and all I could do between their volleys was cool my heels 2 feet above the water. Yes! Yes! Look at him!
Oh, Brett,
Oh,
you better wrestle.
boy!
Hey! 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 There you go! Who got him that time? Fishing trip guy. Okay.
We thank Ron Mast and all the Flint Bowmen for raising nearly $3,500 for our legal defense fund. I was dunked 60 times that afternoon, and I loved it. Does my hair look okay?
Yeah, you look good.
Good. The shooting sports are fun because you shoot the same events over and over again, hopefully improve your scores. With hunting, we don't keep score in the same way for the same reasons, but in every issue of the Outdoor Digest, we have a entry form for our Outdoors Club Hunting and Fishing Awards. If you get a trophy that meets the minimum lengths or weights or score, you can get a hunting or fishing award. Now, for wild turkeys grow what's called a beard, the gobblers do, the strange hair-like protrudence here from the breast of a turkey. 8 inches is the minimum for our hunting awards, and you'll get a turkey award, hunting award from our Outdoors Club. Now, I did an analysis of the past 8 years of turkey entries, found out 159 of the entries had beards in the 8-inch size, 242 were 9 inches, 190 were 10 inches, dropping down for 11s, which is just about the maximum for Michigan turkeys. Only a handful were over 12 inches. Only one turkey we've had in 8 years that had a 14-inch beard. Well, we keep this hunting awards data because it's interesting, it's fun. Most of the hunters were just plain lucky. That's all you need, luck and a good photo, and I'll put you in the trophy book. Let's look at some 1991 spring turkeys, starting with Sue Kirks. She's from Portage, hunted Missaukee County, bagged a gobbler with 11.5-inch beard, which puts it in the top 12% of trophy turkeys. Joe Wagner, owner of the Limberlost in Houghton Lake, is a good hunter. Last year he called in a tom with an 11-inch beard right at the end of the last season. That was Roscommon County, of course. A 10 and 5/8 beard is what Gary Schink's gobbler had. Gary's from Grand Rapids and was hunting Newaygo County. Rod Conklin from Chesaning called in his gobbler in Lake County. That was the first season last year, April 26th. The tom had a 9-inch beard. In our fishing category, 15 inches is the minimum for a yellow perch. That's what Mitch Fincher from Mount Clemens caught on a minnow off Oscoda in Lake Huron, middle of June. Billy Jack Isom from Monticello, Indiana, was fishing steelhead last June off Berrien County. Right after lunch on a Pro King spoon, he caught this 36-incher, 18 pounds. A channel catfish has to be 26 inches for our awards program. Michelle Matlock from Detroit caught one 28 inches long. She was trolling a mep spinner and keel fly in the Thunder Bay River in Alpena County. An even larger channel cat, this one weighed 12 pounds, was caught by Diane Duchesne from Southgate, trolling a wigglewort in Manistee County's Portage Lake. And for the story behind a channel catfish, here's Daryl DeFrang from Rockford, who caught a 31.5-incher, 16 pounds, from a lake that had never produced a channel cat before. So you didn't know that there were any channel cats in this lake, Reed Lake?
Not really. When we used to fish it, we've caught the yellow bullhead, but they're only maybe 12 inches long at the biggest. After we caught the fish, I brought it to the DNR office, and they looked in their file. I guess they catch fish, net them periodically there, and they've never caught one in that lake. They said the only reason it could be is someone let a baby one go in with minnows that they bought at the bait store. They said this was probably one of the only ones in that lake because it was such a small lake, they probably wouldn't reproduce.
No kidding. So you got this catfish was probably put in with a minnow bucket, and many, many years later, it grew to 16 pounds, 31.5 inches long. That's a magnificent mount.
Yeah, they said it was probably about 8 years old at this size in that lake.
That's what you call fisherman's luck. It's an outstanding channel cat and a terrific mount. And Daryl DeFrang is our Michigan Outdoors Trophy Angler of the Week. At the same time, taxidermist Tim Hayes will be fleshing out elk and caribou skins for tanning in preparation for some big game mounts. On Sunday, Kathy Beitler will again be at the museum in the kitchen whipping up some more recipes for the TV show. Abby Burke will be videotaping them. Come in and see how it's done. We'll also have a new display up. The winners of the photo contest of the Outdoor Writers Association of America and special guest photographer Greg Letterman will have his work on display. Greg shot the photo of the doe and fawn that is on the cover of the June-July Outdoor Digest. Spring turkey hunting has attracted more and more Michigan hunters every year. This spring, the DNR issued more than 43,000 permits through a lottery system. My permit was in Dickinson County in the UP for the first season at the end of April. Normally, this season is the best.
What's the plan? Well, what we should do is let's go over, try and put this turkey decoy up and call him. And let's not try and chase him too hard this morning. We're too late.
My guide was Gene Carollo from Iron Mountain, a former DNR Natural Resources Commissioner who loves his turkey hunting. In years past, the call of a lone hen at daybreak would have triggered a multitude of gobbles from lonely toms in this area. Local farmers have been feeding thousands of them through the winter. But the spring of 1992 was strange. Cold temperatures, a late spring. Turkeys weren't gobbling or answering like usual. Gene hadn't seen nearly as many as he had in years past, but we did hear a gobble ahead of us, which was a good sign. But it almost sounded like the turkeys were moving deeper into the swamp. That wasn't a good sign.
I'll set you up here. Put the decoy right here at this point, by these trees. I'll take a walk around and I'll see where they are. They should be right ahead of us, about just a couple hundred yards. Yeah, I don't think they're... It's not very far down here, would you say, John? No. No, them turkeys are only within 200 yards of you. Okay. Let's try it.
We tried, but the gobblers weren't interested in coming our way. You make a few calls like a lonely hen, then wait. The idea is to get the tom to gobble back and find out exactly where he is. We struck out on our first morning, and Gene said he didn't understand it. There were plenty of turkeys around when the snow was on the ground, but except for occasional flocks out in the farm fields, they weren't showing themselves this spring. Now, this isn't normal, because the end of April is the beginning of nesting time, and turkeys are usually quite busy by now. The next day, we tried a number of locations, and finally, under this bluff, from a quarter of a mile away, Gene spotted a single gobbler walking towards the woods. We worked our way around to where the bird ducked into cover, and we could hear it gobbling as it went. I'd call, it would gobble, but it would continue to walk into the deeper woods. Gene put the decoy out by the edge in the clearing, and I hunkered down in a natural hiding spot. We both listened, as the only tom we saw that morning was also the only tom that we heard, and we began looking at 4:30 a.m. when it was still dark. That was a big tom, but it was gone.
Yeah, it's walking away from us.
For most hunters, that was turkey season 1992.
Gobble back. Yeah. But it's getting farther away all the time.
I would never go so far as to say that it was a disappointing turkey season, because just being out there, being able to hunt is always a real treat. But Gene talked to a local guide up there who always does well turkey season, and he was coming up dry. I think he got one turkey in the first 2 weeks. He was perplexed. We talked to hunters downstate, found out that turkeys weren't responding to the calls down there. So I had the conclusion, and this continued throughout the season, that it was a really slow turkey season compared to normal. But then I picked up the paper last Sunday in our local area, and I saw a quote here about turkey season from the DNR turkey specialist. He said, "I think we still harvested over 10,000 birds." 10,000 birds. That would make 1992 a record season. So I wanted to find out, where in the world did this number come from? Charlie Keenan, you're our SOS Bureau Director. I asked you to get on this. Call John Urbane at the DNR and find out if we could get an interview with him so he could explain where this 10,000 number came from.
Well, I did that. I gave him a call, and John said that he'd be happy to come on the program, but he wanted to wait until after the postcard survey was done.
And when is that?
That's going to be in August.
Oh, in August. So we can't really find out about this until August.
No, that's correct.
Oh, wonderful. Where do you suppose this 10,000 number came from? Where did he get that?
Well, John said it was a guesstimate. They were trying to put all their figures together the best they could. It was a guesstimate.
They just guessed. So they're, you know, I hate to be this way, folks. It seems like I'm always picking at the DNR and picking at their numbers, but for crying out loud, anybody who was out there realizes that it was a slow turkey season. The 10,000 number, I think it's another election year deal is what I felt. So I ran a test. I checked our hunting award entries from our Outdoors Club Hunting Awards this year in the turkey division, and I found out that compared with this time last year, we're 17% behind. I had Kathy Beitler call 10 taxidermists who normally take in quite a few turkeys, found out they were down 40% this year compared with last year. So Charlie, it looks from those statistics like this year wasn't nearly as good.
Yeah, but we have to figure the economy in there for the taxidermists, though.
Okay, we're getting all these numbers from the government, right?
That's right.
We have our president telling us that the economy is fine. It's really on the rebound. It's a lot better than we think. And now we have the DNR telling us the turkey season was really a lot better than we thought, a record setter.
It'd be nice to be able to believe what you read.
It would be. We will continue, folks, to bring you on Michigan Outdoors the other side of the story behind these statistics. We'll find out in August maybe, but I don't think the turkey season was all that great.
There won't be the interest in August in it.
Yeah, well, anyway, we'll move on right now to what we know is a great venison recipe.
Elaine interested in us a recipe for venison curry, which was in our recipe contest last year.
It climbed right to the top.
It most
top
certainly
contender.
did, and I can see why. It's a simple recipe, but very, very good. You got your potatoes and cubed venison, curry powder, some onion and some garlic. And you're just going to saute the onion and garlic until it just loses its color there a little bit.
Well, this recipe is seasoned well. Oh, look
Oh,
at those
very.
venison cubes.
No fat, no connective tissue, just excellent
those
meat.
are perfect. That's how venison should look.
Yes.
Everybody's going to love
And
that.
it'll taste good that way. And then as much curry powder as you want. If you like more, add more.
Well, of course, that's a powerful spice.
It is, very.
It really is. You got to lay easy on it for Americans.
Yes. And then add water and just cover it up and let it simmer. And you want to just let it simmer until those pieces of meat are done. And they will get done just about the time
Oh, and they'll be
potatoes
so
do.
tender. You know, this doesn't come out like a stew. It isn't
No.
real thick.
No.
And the question is, of people who are familiar with curry, is the curry overpowering? Well, we have one fella who can tell us that.
Well, I love curry anyway. And this recipe has just enough curry in it. You know, I liked it when it was part of the contest, but now the way you fix it is just the right amount of curry in it. It's just great recipe. Something a lot different with venison.
Something great to take to deer camp.
It tastes like it'd be easy.
It is.
It tastes like potatoes with curry, but I can taste the curry on the potatoes, but in the venison it tastes more like venison.
Oh, it does.
This
It
is-
does.
this
It
is
really
very
brings out the
tasty.
flavor. Yep. It's good to take to deer camp. In fact, the hardest thing I think about this recipe is getting the venison, right?
You know, I can barely taste a nutmeg.
Oh, knock it off.
We have this great venison recipe coming up. It's in the Outdoor Digest magazine. Address at the end of the show. All in all, we have some good fishing this weekend. Get outdoors if you can. It's a great place to be. See you next week. Next week on Michigan Outdoors, we're probably going to get out and do some fishing. But I have to get a lot of shells loaded because I have some practicing to do for the outdoor fair. We're going to have some great competition with Red Ball Harry Reinfelder at our shotgun shooting show. Why don't you get out and do some shooting this weekend as well, and you can join me next week right here on Public TV.